Hey guys, welcome to Liam's Tips and Tricks channel. Today we're going to be going over fusing or upgrading, which is better for jewels and runes. In a later video I'll go ahead and go over equipment, so we're just going to go over some of the basics here and throw in a little bit of strategy, hopefully regarding rune and jewel use. So, let's see. So we'll get right to it here as soon as it loads. There we go. Go right to your rune page. And first things first, as you can see I have quite a stock that I made for this video. The first thing you want to do, in my opinion, is, okay, there's the two options, fuse or upgrade. If you upgrade, it takes 5 of the jewels, combines them, and makes it the next grade jewel. 100% guaranteed every time. If you fuse, when you have the rank N jewels, whenever you select more, it shows a percentage chance of fusing successfully to a higher rank rune of the same type. So, but the thing is, instead of using 5 for the N grade jewels, if you do it through fuse, it only takes 4. So it takes the one that you start with, 76, 75, 74, 73. There we go. And then 100% chance to fuse. And there we go. Now we have a D grade of that rune. The only time that works is with the N grade runes. So my N jewels also. The fusing functions the same. Fusing and upgrading functions the same for both jewels and runes. So my suggestion is, if you can stand the tedium of doing them each individually, then go ahead and fuse first all of your N grade jewels up to D. That's your basic starting point. There we go. So, because what I'll show you right now, when you try to do the same thing with a D grade jewels, it still takes 5 either way. So at the point that you hit D's, you can go ahead and start upgrading them instead. And just as an example, we'll try like this one. Let's say hypothetically I wanted to go ahead and get this one to A. You could see how many it's going to take. So it takes, the higher the tier of rune, the higher the grade of rune or jewel that you try to fuse, the more others it takes in order for it to work. So in this particular case, we're looking at, 6 B grade jewels and 2 C grade jewels in order just to get this B up to A. So at the point at that point, anything past N grade is not efficient to fuse. You want to just do upgrading at that point. Now another trick that you can do is, let's see which one I actually want. Alright. Like, you could take this N grade jewel, or, well, let's do it with a D instead. Here we go. You take a D. Now you can actually use higher grade material for fusing, and it just makes it a little easier. Like, if you use a C grade, you can upgrade that D immediately. But in the end, that is still inefficient. You end up burning more runes and jewels than you would normally use in order just to upgrade them straight. Let's see here. As you can see, I have this one up to 6. See? It would take all 6 and still need extra. So what I'm going to do with this one instead, since I have enough to be able to upgrade it, just going to do that instead, because it only takes 5 and it's guaranteed. And then now I also have enough to upgrade this to an S. So there we go. As far as rune upgrading strategy and fusing strategy, once you get the ends fused up to D, then start working on whichever runes you actually want higher grade. Like, for instance, I really want to get this fighter rune up to S, but it's not going to happen today. I definitely do not have enough, but part of the strategy is like using it, like when you fuse, you can use runes to fuse that you don't that you have extra of. Like, for instance, since I just got this one to S, I don't need these anymore. So all of the lower grade ones, like this one, this whole stack, I can use all of these to fuse other runes that I actually want higher. So in this case, that chrono rune, go ahead and go to fuse. And now, instead of selecting another chrono rune like that, I can just use these. And there we go. And now I have a D grade of that. And basically it's just pretty much rinse and repeat. And there you go. And then, like I said, at the point that you get up to D, it's just more efficient to go ahead and switch to upgrading, because you can also upgrade a whole lot faster than you can fuse. There we go. And there we go, I got another A. So I'll go ahead and finish that later and try to upgrade those. Just a quick note about as far as strategy for runes. You see at the bottom there's 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 3. That basically refers to your active rune set. Right now this is basically my PvP set. So I'll be making a PvE set with other runes that I've got, like, for instance, this adamant rune that I just made is good for PvE or co-op. So I always use my first slot as my PvP, my second slot as my PvE, and then you have to just have to remember to switch back and forth depending on what you're doing. Let's see, and really quick, like I was saying, the jewels work pretty much the same way as far as fusing and upgrading. Once again, only takes 4 N-grade runes and jewels to upgrade to a D. And you can still use unnecessary jewels, or ones that you already have enough of. Jewels are a little more tricky because, yeah, there's less options, but it takes a lot depending on the particular slot. Your weapons jewels, you only have 2 slots, and you have 4 different choices. No, I'm sorry, 3 different choices. So that's up to you. The weapon jewels are the fastest to get up. The ones that will take you the longest to accumulate are the accessory jewels, obviously. Since you have 4 accessories, 2 slots each, 3 pieces of armor, 2 slots each, only 1 weapon. So Alright, and one last quick note about strategy. As far as jewels go, I always go for attack and defense penetration. I have not actually personally tested crit activation yet, but I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. And I prefer to actually be able to penetrate my enemy's defense. As far as armor goes, my two mainstays are emeralds and garnets for the stun recovery and knockdown recovery. But you do have other options. You can go with a slow recovery using opals or straight defense with diamonds. I do have one diamond equipped, and that's because I don't have enough to make another garnet or emerald. And also, obviously, slow recovery. But that pretty much boils down to how you fare in fights and what your strategy is. I prefer getting up and being able to fight back as quickly as possible. That's why I always go for stun and knockdown recovery. As far as accessories go, damage decrease, HP, and there is also a PvP HP. But in the end, the PvP HP and the regular HP ones are exactly the same. So, as far as I could tell, the PvP HP jewels only affect you, like only go into effect when you're in a PvP fight. So, if what I would do, my preference would actually be to go for all just regular hit point jewels, and damage decrease. But that's my personal preference. I know you can also stack HP and PvP HP like that right there. In which case you'll have a whole lot more hit points when you actually go into a PvP fight. But that's all up to you. And there we go. I hope that was at least a little bit informative and helpful. The tricks with upgrading the end grade jewels and runes, that will actually save you and give you more to be able to get to your S grade goals. Oh, one last thing about the different sets. Even though this one is equipped in the first set, you can actually equip it in the second set also. So what that means is that you don't have to make multiples. So you don't have to have more than one S grade rune of any type at any time. So just keep that in mind. And that'll be it for now. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and I will do my best to address it in my next video. Tomorrow I'm going to be going over gear upgrades, like basically just the basics, as well as how to potentially work on getting S grade or S plus gear, and like PvP gear. It does take a lot of work and a lot of time. So just be warned ahead of time. Not everything happens really fast in this game. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed it, and leave it a like. Subscribe if you wish, leave a comment, and thank you for watching.